Time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your host, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Yeah, that's better. What's up, guys? For this Saturday night of September 20th, 2025, you guys are checking out a all-new edition of the RCWR show. Yo, what's up? Lee Sanders with you guys as always. Come one, come all. Sound off. Let me know what you thought about tonight's WWE Wrestlepalooza event. It was the premiere, the ESPN premiere. I'm not really sure how I feel about this whole ESPN era just yet. It's still a little bit early for me, but I gotta say to you guys, it felt like a usual WWE PLE. And I'm not saying that to be a dick, but as we've been saying on this show since 2011, keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive. And I got to be honest with you guys. If you would have shown me this WrestlePalooza event and you basically would have said to me, okay, Lee, so, the way we got this set up, what do you think? Do you think this is a PLE that you're seeing maybe on Peacock or on ESPN? And I honestly could not tell you. I could not tell you the difference. You would stump me. So, as far as this having a special type of feel, a special type of vibe to it, and all of that, yeah, nothing. 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 But that doesn't take away from a lot of the solid action that we had got on tonight's show. Weird right now. I'm seeing what you guys are seeing for the actual stream, and I have been adjusting my overlays on the fly. And for whatever respective reason, I'm not sure why you guys are seeing what you're seeing with the overlay right now. Let me try to see if I can maybe tweak that on the fly here. And yeah, see, I'm doing it right. I'm clicking on my overlay and I'm making sure that you guys are able to see what you need to be seeing. But for some weird reason, it ain't working. Let me try this. See what happens if I switch that out. Then let me see if I right click here. What if I right click? I don't know. We might just have to let that be as it. Oh, I fixed it. I don't know what I did, but somehow I fixed it. Okay, there you go. Yay, teamwork, dream work. Hey, what you guys think about WrestlePalooza? Sound off, let me know. Sound off by casting your vote over on Twitter at the RCWR Show. Also on YouTube.com/the RCWR Show. Click on the post section. We got a poll up over on that bad boy. Look, I mean, we're obviously going to talk about the matches, but I mean, really the first impressions of this new WrestlePalooza on ESPN. If you were to ask me straight up, in all honesty, right? The way I always like to do these shows, you guys know this by now, longtime listeners particularly. I do this. I'm like your friend. I'm like your longtime friend. I'm like your uncle, right? I'm everybody's favorite uncle. Lee, about WrestlePalooza, ESPN, is it worth shelling out the $30 a month? I would say to you, after what I saw tonight, no. First impressions mean everything for me. And I would say no. No, 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 no. And I came out of my pocket. I dropped the $30. I actually paid for the ESPN Unlimited, Hulu, Disney Plus. I did that whole bundle. I got that. Okay. I am saving a little bit of money because normally when I would pay for Disney Plus, I would basically shell out the like 11, 12, $13 for that. And then, so I am saving a little bit of money by just getting the whole bundle thing, right? But just in general, now that this first ESPN WWE POE, say that 10 times fast, is over and done with, I honestly feel there really wasn't enough bang for the dollar to justify giving ESPN slash WWE $30 a month just so you can be on top of your WWE PLEs. I would instead recommend to you guys out there, if you do have the flexibility, uh, when I say flexibility, I do mean flexibility as far as your budget. If you can afford it, I would say instead look into getting a VPN. For Christ's sake, Stephanie McMahon has been plugging VPNs on her podcast. Like, I bullshit you not. I would shell out the money for a VPN. And if you've already got a Netflix subscription, I know most of you guys do, because that's how you're able to, especially when it comes to our Raw post show. That's how a lot of you guys are able to come in and sound off on what you thought about Raw each week. Then I would say invest some money into a VPN. That way you can access all the WWE PLEs through that VPN slash Netflix, and you can bypass ESPN that way. Or hopefully at a later date, WWE works things out with those remaining television providers that's out there, and they can, because I know a lot of you guys are like me, YouTube TV, we're like, well, what's going on here? Xfinity customers, same deal. Maybe we'll be patched in at a later date at no additional charge, but it is what it is. Wrestlepalooza, let's jump into this. One of the things that I did not like, just to really make sure that I'm not being misconstrued here, right? I'm not being misinterpreted. I want to make sure I really lay this out. For those of you that's going, well, damn, Lee, what would have made WWE Wrestlepalooza on point for you? Well, look, it doesn't help that you have Triple H and a bunch of other stars on the WWE roster when they're doing all the media rounds. You've seen your fair share, just as I have. Yo, we're going to be in for loads of surprises with this first WrestlePalooza. Oh, this is a whole new era in WWE programming. There's so much that we have in store. It's a whole new ball game. It's a whole new era. Yeah, man, like you definitely don't want to be missing this. This is going to be the hottest event in town. This is going to be the joint that's going to have so many people talking. And it goes back to what I just said at the very beginning, which is, if you were to show me WrestlePalooza and I don't know nothing about ESPN, WWE deal, and you say to me, what do you think this is on, Lee? I'd be like, I don't know. Is it Peacock? Is it cable? Is it? I wouldn't know that this was this was ESPN. Just nerve wracking, nerve wracking. One of the things that I feel definitely would have helped this event be really, really popping, for starters, WWE should have made it be their business to include some, not necessarily dark matches, but I will say bonus matches. They definitely, if there was ever a time where I would have encouraged WWE to add on some pre-show matches as part of this ESPN PLE premiere, I would have been pushing for that to happen. Okay. I know a lot of you guys are probably like me, big fans of Rhea Ripley, and it sucks that this girl's not. How nice would it have been if she would have at least been part of some of the pre-show matches? There's nothing wrong with doing that, especially given the fact that today, let's not forget, at 3 p.m. Eastern, AEW had did their All Out event. And at this point, I'll be talking about All Out on Monday's show. Don't think that I'm ignoring what the good folks did at AEW. There were some good things that happened from their respective event earlier today. But considering that AEW started at 3 p.m. and their main event match pretty much was going head to head with John Cena versus Brock Lesnar for your WrestlePalooza opener, I just would have expected for at least that final hour before WrestlePalooza started for WWE to go, okay, well, you know what? During this pre-show, let's go ahead and let's load it up with a couple of pre-show matches. Let's get the crowd, let's get everybody fired up. Let's do this. They could have easily done that. They could have easily tapped into their partnership there with the AAA promotion. They could have shown off Mr. Iguana and whoever else they wanted to show off. They could have easily done that, but they chose to not go in that direction. Instead, they mainly wanted to focus on their main card. Yeah, they had the star power. They had everybody that was popping up during the pre-shows and all that other loveliness. That's great, but I think where and when it really counted the most, this event fell very short as far as giving you and making you feel that this was a monumental moment in wrestling slash sports entertainment history, but mainly for the WWE. Now, that's great that WWE gives us this new video package, which I gotta admit, as many of you all had described it, the previous package was known as the WWE Galaxy package, which I loved. I really loved. It almost kind of had a astrology type of vibe to it when you stop and think about it. Yeah, well, they ditched that. They went in a new different direction where they mainly were relying on WWE live video stockpile footage of fans in attendance and showing off various superstars and all that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was nice. The new intro is nice, but the Galaxy intro is fucking beast. Just it reigns supreme. I hope they actually will go back to the Galaxy joint because they could have been pushing that for another 10 years, and honestly, we would have been just fine with that. Of course, some of us in Discord, we had a little bit of a bet going on, which was, hey, do you think Triple H is going to open up the show before we really dive into things? And some of us, including myself, we had drinks ready to go because that's just the running gag. Triple H, every single time something monumental goes down, Triple H always has to be out there in the ring before the festivities begin. So instead, we get this nice little video package of Triple H. And by now, you've probably seen it online. But if you haven't, go check it out. I'm sure WWE has it on their own respected social media feeds and all that. But they had the WWE ESPN partnership video package. It was nice how they basically had WWE and ESPN pretty much talking about how they respectively launched and how they're very similar and basically now you got two worldwide leaders for their respected genres coming together and all of that. I mean, all that was nice. But we did get Triple H in the middle of the ring after that video package, and it was a lot of us just air high fiving each other, taking a drink and everything, welcoming us to WrestlePalooza. Pat McAfee, we heard all the rumors that Pat McAfee was going to be in attendance at WrestlePalooza, but apparently the way WWE had played this off, at least via Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. Oh, well, the rumor said Pat McAfee was supposed to be here. Social media said Pat McAfee was supposed to be here. Apparently, he actually was not scheduled to be there or whatever. So I'm not really sure what the hell that was about. Whatever. But Pat McAfee did join the boys on commentary for it wasn't even the entire show. He pretty much did 3 matches and then he dipped. I know right now Pat McAfee is doing college game day and all that, and he's juggling. So basically, college football, and he's juggling regular football, sports analysis talk, and all that on top of his show. So the fact that we had got him for 3 matches, totally okay with that. Pat did pretty good. He wasn't overkill like in his previous adventures with the WWE, I think most fans will agree with me that heard his commentary tonight. He was not, because I know at times Pat McAfee can be a bit obnoxious. He wasn't obnoxious at all tonight. Pretty good. Actually, put a smile on my face having him back. Look, as long as they continue to have Pat McAfee just pop up randomly like he did, I'm totally down with that. I know some people were like, yo, why not have it be Pat McAfee, Michael Cole, and Corey Graves? Look, in a perfect world where everything is kumbaya, yeah, sure, but I would keep specifically Pat McAfee and Corey Graves as separate as possible. You kind of feel where I'm coming from on that. First match on the docket: Brock Lesnar taking on John Cena. Brock Lesnar coming out there, and I gotta say, Brock Lesnar for 48 years old. I don't know why this went over a lot of people's heads because I had complimented Brock Lesnar. I said, "Wow, Brock Lesnar looks to be in really damn good shape. Like this is like almost the best shape I've seen him in recent years." And there was a little bit of pushback I got from some people, as some people felt that this ain't nothing. Have you forgotten how Brock Lesnar looked in the early 2000s? No. You're talking to somebody that has been a hardcore Brock Lesnar fan way, way before. My God, he really, like, I remember seeing tapes of Brock Lesnar down in OVW. That's how far back I go. I was already singing his praises way back then and everything. So, no, I'm very well aware of how Brock used to look in the early 2000s. Uh, Look, when you're talking about somebody that is almost 50 years of age, because Brock is 48 right now. So the fact that here is a guy that's almost 50, and you just look at the shape that he's in, I'm sorry, not sorry, but most guys in their late 40s, they don't look like that. They strive to eat right, you know, work out and get their fitness on and but look, we're slackers. Let's be honest, we're slackers. We want to pick up that extra cheeseburger, right? We want to pick up that we want to pick up that drumstick, right? That little ice cream drumstick, vanilla or chocolate chip, we want to pick that up instead of an apple or a peach or whatever, right? So, but I do got to push back on Brock. One thing that had me and a few of you all rolling was the fact that Brock has been skipping leg day like a mofo. Brock does not believe in leg day anymore. I mean, I'm not, look, watch it. Watch the clips that's floating around online. For those of you that didn't watch Wrestlepalooza, you'll see what me and a few others were talking about. I mean, he's got this nice big upper body, nice thick ass neck. He's got the shoulders, the deltoids, triceps. I mean, he's got everything going on. But then when you get to the legs, he's got these little tiny ass little chicken legs. And you're like, damn, Brock, it's like that, homie. You just skipping out on leg day. Like I remember when I was in my 20s and 30s, and I used to work out religiously. I never skipped leg day. I had to do leg day, even if it was a case where I didn't care about the upper working on the upper body that day, mainly because I was giving the upper body some rest. I didn't neglect on my legs. And so just to see Brock Lesnar is like, okay, that's great that you care about your upper body, dude, but like that upper body don't mean shit if you're not taking care of the lower legs as well. Whatever. But he still looked pretty good. John Cena pulling a Rocky Balboa as he was coming out with all the little kids, to which leave it to my minority fans that said, yo, where's the black kids? Where's the Asian kids? Where's the Hispanic kids? All I see is white kids. And to that, I say, the minority kids were in there. You just couldn't see them. I know. That is just bad. That's a bad joke, but like, come on. Like, seriously. Also, it's kind of funny because you see Cena come out with the kids, and all I could think of when he was coming out with the kids was the little Rocky song, the Bill Conti Rocky song. Gonna fly now. Except I kind of changed the lyrics around in my head. I'm saying getting mauled now. Gonna be hard now. Like, yeah, because he's literally about to get killed by Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar shockingly whooping John Cena's ass in 8 minutes and change. I mean, this match went down. It's funny. I don't know who the Twitter user is, but there was somebody about a week ago that posted this hilarious video of himself with a Brock Lesnar and a John Cena action figure. And, he's doing all these cool moves. He's got music. I mean, he's putting in blood. He was doing all this cool shit. And the running gag that we had going online when we saw his video, we all said, yo, this is how the match should be booked. This is 10 times better than what probably is actually going to happen at WrestlePalooza. Oh my fucking God. Hate to be right. Seriously, that action figure match. I'll see if I can find the link for you guys, and I'll post it on Monday. But that action figure match was 10 times better than what we got with the actual match here on this. But uh, it was bad. It was a bad match. Did it go down the way I thought it was going to go down, as far as Cena getting mauled by Brock Lesnar? Yes, to a certain point. I'm not being wish-washy with this, but Brock didn't really murder him as a lot of us thought he was really going to be murdering him. And Cena really didn't have that big Rocky Balboa, big comeback type of feel. Now, that's great that you have John Cena pull off like about 3, 4, 5 FUs, attitude adjustments or whatever, and you got Brock kicking out of these bitches and all that. That's great. That's great. But it seemed like it never got out of first gear, this particular match. And that's what was really nerve wracking about it, especially given the fact that, at least for me, as many Brock Lesnar matches as I've seen over the years, I was under the impression for sure we were going to see Brock Lesnar play with his food. And he was just going to keep teasing, going for the cover. Not done yet. Keeps playing with his food. And we sadly did not see any of that whatsoever. Final moments of this one, Cena coming in there. Oh, by the way, at least my idea about having Ron Killings in there, maybe trying to get a little bit of payback. I mean, that would have been a nice little fun element thrown into the mix rather than how this all had played out. Got to tell you. But anyway, Cena coming in with the five knuckles shuffle attempt, runs into a couple of F5s, hits another F5, ends up pulling himself up. Another F5 from Brock Lesnar. The kids at this point were not happy. The real MVPs of the night during this match were the kids that were crying because they were watching their beloved John Cena get destroyed. I laughed my ass off in hysteria seeing this. John Cena pulling himself upright, takes another F5. Brock then pulls Cena up again, hits him with another F5. Yeah, I mean, like at least 7 F5s by Brock Lesnar before Lesnar deciding, yeah, I'll just go in for this pin here. I mean, it was a nice callback to some of their previous encounters, but I wish, since this would have been like the very last time we were going to see Brock Lesnar and John Cena go at it, I wish we could have gotten to the point Brock Lesnar got a special cameo by Paul Heyman for his in-ring introduction. So maybe that's kind of what was essentially teased there from SmackDown a little bit over 24 hours ago, right? Or maybe there's more to the story. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But I wish that, with Paul Heyman mentioning the fact that Brock Lesnar, former NCAA, champion and all that, I wish we could have gotten just a taste of retro Brock Lesnar returning in this one. What I mean by that, we all know that's been following the career of Brock Lesnar. We know when this dude really wants to, he can wrestle his ass off. I really, really wish we would have seen that incarnation of Brock Lesnar return and all that. Some people may feel, yeah, it really wasn't needed, but that's just my wishful thinking right there. Now, let's address the elephant in the room because I know a lot of you guys are going, wait a minute. So John Cena lost. How does that make sense? Hey, that's yeah, very valid point. How does that make sense? I'll tell you this, and I'll raise you. Why did we get the opportunity to John Cena leave the ring at his own accord and pretty much kind of give a dab to the fans? Like, hey, sorry I couldn't get this one done for you guys, but thanks for cheering me. Like, I didn't like seeing that visual at all. That was just stupid. A lot of us were scratching our heads when we saw Brock win because it was a case of, wait, how does this help Cena? But then the question becomes, well, what do you mean help Cena? Cena doesn't need help. Like, he's John Cena. Right, but keep in mind, John Cena has 5 more matches left. And we can all be in agreement that when this journey first started, there was excitement, and then it was just, what are we really doing here? Then we just did the abrupt 180, just have him go back to babyface. We're like, oh, okay, sure, whatever, dude. We do this match with Brock Lesnar. Some people were looking at this Brock Lesnar win going, oh, well, this is a way of reestablishing the dominance that is Brock Lesnar, reestablishing him as the alpha. That really wasn't needed, though. You really didn't need to have him and John Cena, right? Like, this really just, it's supposed to be the John Cena retirement tour. Okay? Now, if you were going to have John Cena lose, I personally don't have a problem with John Cena losing. Just add a little bit of, what's the right word I'm looking for here? What's the right words? Just blur the lines a little bit. That's the best way I can sum it up, right? To my point. Rather than have John Cena leave at his own accord earlier, like I mentioned, no, have Brock Lesnar just beat the living shit out of this dude. Let it be so bad that John Cena is loaded up onto a stretcher. Go back to those kids that were crying throughout the arena. Sell that fear, the overall hush amongst the commentators and the crowd. Raise the question, man, what does this mean for John Cena? I hate to even bring this up, but John Cena wanted to give back to the fans, and he's supposed to be doing this whole farewell tour. What does this mean for the rest of his dates? Like, have we essentially seen John Cena for the very last time? Why am I saying all of this? Why am I going on and on and on and on and on about all this? Because remember, John Cena only has like 5 dates left in WWE. He's done for the rest of September. Here's the remaining dates: October 11th, Crown Jewel. November 10th, WWE Raw in Boston. November 17th, WWE Raw, New York City. Then December 5th, Chicago edition of SmackDown. Then a week after that, December 13th, he'll wrap up the year and his WWE career, Saturday night's main event in Washington, D.C. So that's how all of this is going to wrap up for John Cena. So for me personally, just knowing that the next time we pretty much are going to get John Cena is on October the 11th, I would have had Brock Lesnar fuck him up so damn good. Like I said, rest of his retirement tour in jeopardy. We don't know what's going on. And then you could have easily sold the next 2 weeks. John Cena resurfaces, hey, despite what happened, hey, I said I was going to do this retirement tour, and whether if I'm at least at 80%, that's good enough for me. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to give it my all. It's unfortunate I couldn't get a W over there with Brock, but it is what it is. Yada yada yada. I your guess is as good as mine with how WWE had did this, but definitely didn't like the way that has set the tone per se. Next up, tag team match: Jimmy Jey Uso taking on BNB Braun Breaker Bronson Reed with a special guest referee that was added. We saw pretty much how all of this came about. I guess it really developed, if not during the pre-show, they gave us the highlights before this tag match began. Basically, Adam Pearce wanted a special enforcer type of a referee, one that would definitely physically take no shit from no one. He ended up going with LA Knight, yeah, for this one and everything. The team of BNB going over for the W here, 17 minutes, 12 seconds. Look here, man. BNB continue. I said this a couple of nights ago, but BNB, they continue to be awesome individually, but definitely as a tag team. These guys are shining brighter and better than when they were attached to Seth Rollins for those strings of weeks. Seriously. And hey, the in ring gear that they were wearing tonight, man, talk about some damn good taste. Better than what Seth Rollins usually be pushing. Yeah, eat your heart out, Seth Rollins. Boys did good in this one. No, but their tag team chemistry off the chains on this one. Decent little tag match. Love the drama with LA Knight being thrown into the mix. LA Knight still having those tense issues with Jey Uso, and anytime Jey Uso was trying to do a little something something, Knight talking hot trash to him. Also, at the same time, oh, you trying to use that steel chair? No, 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 get that shit out of here. But let his brother Jimmy go for the steel chair. Oh, it's all good, homie. Go ahead. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm looking the other way. So, really showing a lot of leniency in there. By the way, weird spot that went down where Jay ended up opening himself. He yeeted real bad right there. Um, Trying to think how that happened. I'm not sure if it was with a chair that was involved or if it was outside the ring over by the announcers tables. But yeah, he opened himself up pretty bad right there. Uh, Outcome of this one, I think the right team went over and everything. If you were to tell me that the way this is being built up right now, they are eventually trying to set up something for war games, fuck yeah, bring it on, I say. Bring it on, I say. But nice little tag match. Nice little tag match. Right team definitely got over in this one. Can't wait to see the drama that comes from out of this. Is Jay to what I was saying earlier? What was it yesterday? Where I had offered WrestlePalooza predictions. I couldn't help but bring up the question: how much blame is Jimmy Uso maybe going to get for the fact that they came up a little bit short and all of that in this tag match here tonight? Will Jay actually go in that direction with Jimmy? We don't have to wait that long. Either check out Monday Night Raw and we'll be able to see from there. Going to our third match of the evening, probably my favorite match out of this entire card. Somewhere I'm picturing Booker T smiling like a proud papa for the Women's World Championship. Io Sky taking on Vaquer. Stephanie Vaquer becoming your new women's champion, winning that vacant women's world championship. As remember, Naomi had to relinquish the title due to pregnancy. 20 minutes and 11 seconds. Remember, as I offer predictions, my main concern for this match was there going to be shenanigans? Was there going to be a lot of bookings of cameos. Were we maybe going to see the Kabuki Warriors? Was Rhea going to come out? Like me personally, and I was very vocal about it. I said, look, all that shit, it's just not needed. You got two of the absolute best in Stephanie and Io. Let them go out there. Let this match breathe. Let it do its thing. Because honestly, all of that is just not needed. And I'm glad that WWE let this match just breathe on its own. Let these two girls go out there and just have at it. This was really, really good. The real story that I think was being played out during this match for me was, yeah, Stephanie Vakir. And I love the fact that whoever laid this match out, they made sure to get translated to Stephanie. Hey, look, try to come off like you're nervous a little bit, like you're maybe a little antsy or right, because it played off pretty well. I thought throughout this match. Okay, and rightfully so because we've seen this woman do so much down in NXT and everything, and it just seems like since she's been on the main roster, like her star power, like we've been here month after month, like she cannot be denied. But to actually now be at the dance, finally, right? This is your shot. It's for the women's championship. You're gonna seize this opportunity. You're gonna crush it. Like what? You couldn't ask for a better opponent than Io Sky, who bumped and sold like a mofo for Stephanie Vakir. I mean, she went Shawn Michaels in this one for Stephanie. I really, really love this. The main takeaways I had from this matchup was Stephanie Vakir was able to keep up with, without a doubt, as far as Io Sky goes, for sure. When she is done, first ballot WWE Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Stephanie Vakir, very poised, very cool, cool as a cucumber. I mean, she kept up with the pacing there from Io Sky. Really, really, really like this. EO just selling real good, especially when at a couple of points during the match, Stephanie was focusing on EO's leg. Oh, EO was just selling that like a mofo. Um, I thought Stephanie sold just enough when it came to her being on the offense. I thought she did a pretty good job. Um, Honestly, my message to both of these women, they should be very proud of what they did there tonight. They should be proud of their match because for me, and I'm not overstating this, but with what I saw tonight, I felt that not only was it one of the best singles matches since Stephanie has been part of the main roster, but I will go a step further and I will say that this is definitely a match of the year candidate for the WWE women's side as far as matches go and everything. So, yeah, I love this match so much that I think once I'm done with the show, like maybe before the weekend is out, I think I might end up actually watching this match again. But definitely one of the best matches of the night. Post match, I love the class act that went down between both women. Stephanie Vakir laying the championship in the middle of the canvas and dropping to her knees and bowing down gracefully. Io Sky pretty much doing the same thing as they embrace each other. And then to see Vakir celebrate the championship win by embracing her father. Um, Good stuff. Good stuff right there. Definitely my favorite match of the night. Now, of course, we know that waiting in the wings is Rhea Ripley, right? We've been seeing her in the background these past couple of weeks, and now we definitively know that, okay, so it's no longer going to be Rhea and Io, but, now instead it's going to be Rhea and Stephanie, and I am totally down for that. I am totally down for that. That's going to be a fun little matchup. Now, what I personally would like to see happen, and it's kind of interesting what's been happening with Rhea Ripley these past several months. And I want to let it be crystal clear. I am of the mindset of Rhea Ripley doesn't need the women's championship right now. She just doesn't. I mean, Rhea Ripley, she is the. They've scaled back just a little bit on her creatively. You know, she has been just kind of floating there just a tiny little bit. But she doesn't need the women's championship right now. If anything, if you're WWE, you want to use that star power of Rhea Ripley, especially now that you've taken the time out to really build her up and all that, and really make sure that you're paying it forward. Just how you utilized EO Sky to ultimately set up Stephanie Vakir, you definitely want to have Rhea Ripley follow suit. Maybe in essence too, you could have Rhea Ripley really kind of flush out that mean streak there in Stephanie Vakir. Because when we were checking out Vakir down in NXT, you know, we do know she's got that gritty side to her. She does have that dark side to her. So, you know, maybe we can kind of see. Because I don't want to see no lame ass, you know, hey, may the best woman win. I don't want to see that. I want to see a little bit of a mean streak come out. And not for nothing, there's definitely been enough seeds planted there with Rhea Ripley where you just get the impression, yo, if shit don't go her way after a while, this girl is just fans be damned. She just gonna do her damn thing. So I can definitely see that happening. Now, of course, if you want to ultimately circle back and somehow still keep EO Sky in the same picture, in that same picture for the championship, you could also go that route as well. I can't wait to see what happens with Raw coming up this week, as far as EO Sky and the Kabuki Warriors go. You know, is it all really peace in the valley, or is Asuka pretty much going to be like, yeah, you thought you were big and bad. You thought you were queen shit because, you know, oh, you didn't need us and all this. Now look at you. You don't have your championship. Maybe now you should, you know, kind of follow suit or something along those lines. But I just kind of, I'd be shocked if they didn't go in that direction with the Kabuki Warriors and all that. But I'm just picturing Asuka literally coming up to EO. Yeah, you thought you was big and bad, and you know, now look at you. Now look at you. Who's the chump now? Right? Bet you wish you would have had our help, huh? Come on, Kari and poor Kari just being kind of dragged into the mix and all of that. You know, here's the other thing too in regards to Kari. They definitely need to address, okay, what does Asuka have on Kari? Like, does she have some type of photograph or photographs or something? Does she have like a locked OnlyFans account of Kari saying that if it ever saw the light of day, my God, Kari would be ashamed, her family and friends would be ashamed that her like what exactly, what exactly does Asuka have on Kari saying to make Kari just basically every time gotta go? Asuka's calling. They definitely got to try to flush that out a little bit more. Good match though. Right woman won this match without a doubt. Good shit. Good shit. Like I said, favorite match of the entire night. Next match up, mixed tag team match. CM Punk, AJ Lee taking on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. This one went on for uh, about 30 plus minutes. Yeah, way too long. I felt that there were a lot of parts in this that was extremely excessive, bit overkill, finishes galore for my personal taste. I mean, they were doing any and everything. They made sure they spammed the hell out of the pedigrees. I'm talking about for Seth and Becky. Yeah, they spam the pedigrees. Curb stomps. I mean, you name it. Shit was getting spammed out repeatedly throughout this matchup. I will say the build up and ultimately having AJ get the hot tag, they did that beautifully. Every time it seemed as though Punk was that close to getting the tag to AJ, crowd popping. Like there was always something, whether it was Becky Lynch quickly running interference. Like there was always some kind of element happening to deny CM Punk. I did love how all of that really helped build up the big moment for AJ and everything. So that was laid out just right. Um, but yeah, man, this match, and one thing, it became a clusterfuck after a while because you ended up going, well, who the hell is the legal person in this? Because at first you were able to keep track of who was who, but eventually it became, okay, fuck, who's legal? Like, and you're going, well, I guess it don't matter, right? And then at one point you had both couples outside of the ring, and they were fighting over by the announcers table, and the action eventually got set up on the announcers tables and all that. And you've got the referee, I believe it was Jessica Carr. Like your favorite video game, she just froze. And it's like, so we ain't counting down. We not doing any type of countdown, no countdowns, nothing like that. Because you're going, wait a minute, this is a mixed tag team match. Like pinfall or submission, right? Like, because if countouts, usually, even if it's a mixed tag match, like usually there's countouts and all that going on, and the referee was just, and we never had clarification from the commentators as far as, yo, why isn't the referee counting? We never did get that clarification, so I just thought that was kind of hilarious seeing all that shit go down there. But closing moments of this one, Punk fights back, pulls off a go to sleep. Becky ends up shoving AJ in the Punk. Rollins. Then this was over on the announcers table and all that, and like AJ got sent crashing all three of them. It was a nice little beautiful spot that had went down. Meanwhile, action goes back into the ring. Becky and AJ. Becky hits the manhandle slam, but AJ ends up countering it into the Black Widow, ultimately making Becky Lynch tap out and everything. But this match, in retrospect, had no business being 30 plus minutes long. Not needed whatsoever. Yeah, yeah, Spawn. Yeah, you gotta, Spawn. Yeah, not only do you have to blow that cartridge, man. Not only right. You didn't have to look. If you were like me, you had to put that cartridge in the freezer for about 10 minutes. Then you blew into it. Then you put it in the damn joint, and hopefully it wasn't going to freeze that time. Or you probably took that Q-tip, you took a little dry Q-tip and you just, and you did the trick that way. But yeah, it didn't need to be 30 minutes. This match needed at least 10 to 15 minutes trimmed very easily. They definitely lost the crowd in a very huge negative way, I personally feel. Because the last thing you want is for the crowd to just be at a hush and giving you that, can you end this energy vibe. That's like the last thing that you need and everything. Um, but you know what? Major props to Punk, just all of them, because I think they kind of felt it. And I wouldn't be surprised if they had to pull some audibles as a result within their time restraints for their respected match and everything. AJ looked okay. Um, Off with some of her in-ring timing, but I think the more that she's at it, I think that'll take care of itself in due time. I mean, look, she hadn't done anything in like 10 years. And I mean, not for nothing, but when she was doing color commentating over there for Wild Women of Wrestling, as a lot of you longtime listeners know, we were covering the Wild promotion like religiously for a good stretch there. Um, she didn't really do any training with the Wild Women either. From those that I had talked to behind the scenes and everything on the condition that they remain anonymous. From what I was told, AJ would just come in there, just do what she needed to do for her color commentating work, and that basically was it. As far as actually sitting down, talking to the women at WoW, wrestling, training with them, she like non-factor. It was like she was non-existent. That's based on what a couple of people has said to me. I don't know if some of the other women that's down there, if maybe their experience might have been a little bit different, but from the handful that I had spoke to, they pretty much were like, and I'm not saying that to badmouth AJ Lee in any type of way. I think it just really kind of gives you an idea of just, yeah, she really was that far removed from wrestling way back then as far as getting in the ring and doing her own thing and all of that. Um, she was okay though. I mean, but compared to her previous work from years and years back, night and day. Definitely a big difference. But she's gonna just give her a couple of months. She doesn't even need that long. Just give her like about, I would say, 5 months tops, and we're gonna see her get back to peak AJ Lee and all of that. Uh Coolest moment of the night. And this kind of follows up to what was said in the chat earlier here. Where is it here? To Byron in the chat, who had said Triple H promised me surprises tonight and we got zero. Well, not zero, Byron. You did get one. You did get one, which is what we're going to talk about right now. Undertaker comes out and he's pushing the whole American badass vibe and theme, all that other cool shit, right? Comes on out there, motorcycle, got the Kid Rock thing. See Stephanie McMahon, and I wasn't sure what was going on here because I was like thinking to myself, okay, maybe Taker is just getting ready to come out and he's getting ready to make some type of a big blockbuster announcement as far as the WrestlePalooza attendance goes. And maybe somehow he's going to incorporate Stephanie McMahon to maybe sharing the news or whatever. So I'm looking at Stephanie McMahon, and legit, she kind of has this, what the fuck is going on? Kind of, she could tell she's just going with the flow. She's trying to be pleasant, but you could tell she's feeling a little bit awkward because Taker's like, hey, nice to see you. Yeah, what's going on? I remember you being at the UFC fight last week. I went there. You were there. Like, now I'm here tonight. And you following me? And stuff's like, yeah, pretty much I'm following you. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they're just getting ready to do some type of a cross podcast promotion type of deal. Maybe they're getting ready to team up and maybe there's a big name they're going to team up and interview together or whatever. Like, nah, nah. So Taker keeps on talking and everything. He goes, can I sit right beside you? And she's like, yeah, sure. Come on, go ahead. And he's like, where is this going? And it just, they were cracking jokes. And Undertaker, we've known each other for a long time. And Steph's like, yeah, and they cracked a couple of jokes, and Taker's like, yeah, well, let's not go there. And he's like, Stephanie, let me ask you something. Are you ready? And it's like, ready for what? I mean, this was coming off. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. This came off really fucking creepy. Okay. Oh, I'm like, is Taker trying to ag Stephanie out or something? Where's Triple H when you need this guy? And if anything, no, I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's just asking if Stephanie's ready for the main event, maybe who she's got, and is maybe gonna ask the crowd who they gonna go with, right? But it felt like a little bit more than that. And Taker goes, no. Are you ready? And Taker says that it's his honor to induct Stephanie into the class of 2026 WWE Hall of Fame. And Stephanie just had this look on her face, not just shock, but it was almost one of those, get the fuck out of here. and also I can't believe you're doing this to me, right? Because blindsided and all that, but it was in a joyful way and all that, and you could tell that meant a lot to her. It was nice seeing her get emotional, and she was hugging Taker, fans chanting, "Yo, you deserve it." And she got a hug from Nick Khan, who we managed to see come in and congratulate, give her a hug as well before we went into our main event. Now, let me just say this. Let me just say this. I'll talk a lot more about this on the Monday show. I don't know if I'll really have anything much more to add to what I'm about to say right now. But let me say, if there is one person that I go, you know what? I got no issue. This person is definitely deserving of going into the WWE Hall of Fame. Sure, sure. No problem. No fuss, like nothing. Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon, without a doubt. Those of us that have been long-time WWE fans, we know that Stephanie McMahon, way before Shane McMahon even came into the picture, was planted into the company very early on. We're talking about somebody that may not necessarily been there from the, well, no, if you really kind of stop and think about it, actually was there from the ground up, per se. But for Stephanie McMahon, it goes so much deeper than that. All the different hats that this woman has worn in the company. Again, I will go all out on Monday's RCWR show. But just for newer fans that really, are kind of scratching their heads, and they really have not educated themselves, and really got caught up on Stephanie McMahon and what she has done behind the scenes in WWE. It's not just a case of in the more recent years, but I mean, understand something. This woman began working for the WWE when she was like just a kid, probably like not even before junior high school. Like, just to kind of give you guys an idea, many different hats that she wore in that company. And when it was really needed the most for somebody to come in there, especially with all the crap that was going on with Vince McMahon, can you guys just imagine how hard that is also to go against your own parent? And okay, we need to get away from this, like this, and just how vindictive Vince McMahon ended up. Like, obviously, it's no secret. Like, all the reputable people that you've come to respect and appreciate when it comes to learning about and understanding certain things in the WWE ecosystem. It's no secret that Vince McMahon isn't exactly sending Stephanie a holiday card and warm wishes and all that other stuff. What did Triple H had say a while back in regards to Vince McMahon and the whole? It's complicated. That's what he said. It's complicated, and that is a huge, huge understatement. That is a huge understatement. Um, and I like Spawn's comment in the chat. I want to give him some love, where he says Shane was a joke, a character of a man. Stephanie was overlooked due to gender bullshit. She's the true brains behind the machine. I will definitely go in that direction. Like, we've heard it from so many wrestlers that's done interviews over the years. Shane McMahon cared more about being liked by the boys. He wanted to be liked and respected by the boys rather than, okay, what is really good for business, right? What really makes business sense? Whereas Stephanie Stephanie really fucking proved. Look, I'm gonna say something that may be just unpopular, but it goes to Spawn's point. I think honestly, if Stephanie would have been born a man and just had everything else that we've come to know and love about Stephanie, the whole demeanor and just outlook on the business and all of that, I honestly feel in my heart of hearts that, oh yeah, what I doubt, Vince would have embraced, but just the fact that she was born a woman, that essentially made Stephanie have to work basically twice as hard, right? Twice as hard for that respect and everything. But, you know, I don't want to get too much into it, into the weeds, but, yeah, anybody that definitely deserves to go into the WWE Hall of Fame, and you tell me Stephanie McMahon, yeah, I'm not pushing back on that by any stretch. I'm not. I'm not. Now, there's obviously going to be some people that's going to put some hit pieces out there and all that other shit, and we'll talk about all of that stuff on Monday. But let's enjoy the good feel moment for now. But that was your one and only surprise, Byron, and everybody else. That was your one and only surprise. So they gave us that. They didn't give us anything else. I got to tell you, what really would have been kind of cool for me personally, I would have loved it if after Brock Lesnar had beat the holy crap out of John Cena, I'd have loved it if Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed came out there and they joined in on fucking him up as well. And then you could have sold what I was talking about earlier. What does this mean for John Cena and the whole retirement? Like, what does this mean? And then how cool would that have been if not only does John Cena come back, but John Cena goes, yo, I definitely need me a team for war games, right? I need to get me a team together because man, I got Brock, I got Bronson, I got Breaker. And then if you want to circle back to Seth, you could have easily done that. Just imagine if John Cena would have been like, yo, I need to get me a team together. Just imagine if he would have been like, okay, let me go get Roman. Let me go get CM Punk. Let me go get, my brother, Ron Killings. Or let me go get insert, right? Insert this name. You definitely could have done that. Or if you want to spice it up big time and you want to throw some newer, fresher names in there, how about Penta uh, as part of that whole John Cena team? Dragonoff is like waiting in the wings, supposed to be coming back. Okay, well, what better way to get a nice little rub off than John Cena, Dragonoff? Like, and I'm not saying that WWE is not going to go in that direction. It's still relatively early, but with the way things have been going in this Triple H Paul Levesque era, you're kind of scratching your head going, well, I'm hoping for this, but my gut is telling me this is what's going to actually happen instead. Can't always get what you want, apparently. Final match of the night, WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre. By the way, it was about 25 minutes, give or take, between matches and setting up this main event match, by the way. Cody Rhodes retaining the WWE Undisputed Championship, 17 minutes and some change. Decent match. For me, the lack of heat. I don't. For me personally, I don't think there was enough build up for this match, quite honestly. And then to hear in retrospect that this was Cody Rhodes' first title defense since winning the championship, I'm going, damn. I don't know. That just kind of took me by surprise a little bit. That was something that I was not expecting to hear and everything. The referee. I don't know what was going on with the referee. I don't know if there was some type of a audio malfunction and the referee was legit just trying to go off of memory, or if that referee had maybe one too many drinks or no, if what was happening with that referee was all part of the show. But it just seemed like the referee, a couple of times there where it's like, what the fuck is this referee doing? Like, legit, what is going on with this referee? And it led me to the impression at a couple of points that maybe Drew McIntyre was going to take his frustrations out somehow physically on this referee, but it did not come to be, which kind of made me wonder even more. Was there some type of audio gremlins with the referee there? I don't know, but um, decent match. Yet another shady situation here where you go, Drew McIntyre kind of screwed once again out of becoming a world heavyweight champion. What's the real story here? It seems like just when you think the odds are in Drew McIntyre's favor, there's always something that seems to get in his way, and he's never really able to cleanly get his just due. What the hell is that all about? Um, I don't know. I don't know. Something about this match was just kind of odd for me, though. I kind of wish that whatever was going on with Cody's head from when Drew pretty much kicked him in the noggin. What was it on SmackDown? I really wish that would have played more into a dominant role here in this main event match. I to the point I wish Drew would have been egging Cody on. How's that head, son? Right. I really wish that Cody, his whole mindset going into this match, I wish he would have been doing kind of like a better job as he's wrestling Drew, trying to protect his head at all costs, right? That would have had the commentators very early on, Cody's doing something new here. I've never seen him wrestle with while protecting his head. Like, notice he's protecting his head a lot here. And I think maybe there was only one reference where the commentators were like, "Hey, we saw what happened on SmackDown." They should have leaned into that much more. I would have loved it if at one point they would have tied up. Drew would have just played the mind games and just patted Cody on his head, right? Or maybe Drew could have teased the Claymore kick, and that really could have just spooked the shit out of Cody. And Drew would have been like, "That close, lad, that close. I fucking could have had your head." And they didn't do that. They didn't do that at all. Even right down to the point, just again, the overall psychology of this matchup, like, especially if you're Drew McIntyre, you kick the living shit out of Cody in the head. You're definitely doing any and everything at all costs to really play up to that, especially if you could essentially concuss Cody. And I really, really would have loved it if going into this match, you would have had the commentator say, "Hey, look, we have it on good authority that after the events that happened on SmackDown, Cody was seen by the doctors and all that, and I have it on good authority. Cody ain't got no business wrestling here tonight, but apparently Cody's gonna try to do this because he's not trying to disappoint the fans." And then Wade, being the devil's advocate as always, Wade could have been like, "Well, it's all about championships and checks, Cole. He wants that purse." Yeah, like, however you got to spin it, just fucking spin it. But they had an opportunity here to really, really sell. Oh, look at the great challenges that Cody had to overcome here to retain the championship, and really just get away just barely here. I mean, to be able to even do it in a way where, Cody comes off like physically, this dude doesn't even know where he is. Maybe it's just instincts that's happening here. I'd have loved it if you could have had the referees just come in, or medical trainer or whatever afterwards. Hey, Cody, obviously nobody is home. Like, do you even think This guy's even going to remember this match, and only time will tell. Like, that would have been a really good selling point. Yeah, Cody retained the championship, but at what cost? I mean, look at the guy. Just really missed out. Really missed out on some golden opportunities here. I personally feel. So, all said and done. I'm just thinking about this match overall. This whole pay-per-view event overall now. Not the best WWE PLE for 2025. Not the best. Looking at some of the matches in retrospect, definitely the Stephanie Vakir versus Io Sky. That was pretty good. I'll even give the Visions B&B taking on the Usos some love. That was actually a pretty good tag matchup as well. Despite the fact that Punk Lee taking on Rollins Lynch was a bit long winded, that was a solid tag match for what it was worth. Everything else I really could have done without per se. So I would give this pay per view, and I'd be shocked to see people giving it a much higher pay per view. But for me personally, grading scale A to F, I would give this pay per view a C. Definitely not a C plus. Definitely not a C minus. I'm gonna give it a modest C. That's about it. So you're keeping track at home and you're going over the fact that so basically, Lee, what you're saying, pretty much a 2 match show, almost a 3 match show. Yeah, that's pretty much where I am in a nutshell. Ooh, most favorite match of the night, Io Stephanie. Least favorite match of the night. Least favorite match of the night. You would think that everything that I had said earlier in regards to Brock Lesnar and John Cena, that would be my, but no, it would actually be the Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre, because they had the blueprint. They had the perfect blueprint, but they did not fully flush that motherfucker out. That's the biggest thing. Let's see what you guys had to say about WrestlePalooza. Going over to Twitter at the RCWR show, seeing how you guys have voted. Let's see here. All right, I see you guys. Appreciate you guys that voted too, by the way. A lot of you guys have sounded off. Oh my God. So again, the question, how would you rate WrestlePalooza? 2% of you. Grade letter scale too, by the way. Keeping it simple. Grade letter scale. 2% of you all said it gets an A. 14% of you said a B. 36% of you ranked WrestlePalooza a C. And in the D to F range, 48% of you, top dog right now, you voted WrestlePalooza is between a D and an F. Appreciate you guys that voted via Twitter. Let's see what you guys had to say over on YouTube. YouTube.com/the RCWR show. Click on the post section and vote that way. See what you guys did here. Early voting still coming in for YouTube, but from what I'm able to see right now, 100% of the votes coming in. You guys are ranking it a D to a F. Appreciate everybody that has taken the time out to vote. Yeah, you guys are much kinder. I gotta say, you guys are going in the D to F range. See, because you know me, I always appreciate at least the effort, right? So I'm definitely gonna, and it helps when you have like maybe 1 or 2 matches, because trust me, if you were to take the Stephanie Vakir Io Sky match out, like let's just say that match didn't happen, you definitely are, in my book at least, you're definitely losing a whole letter grade. You're definitely going into the D range territory, but. Yeah. I definitely hear where you all are coming from on your votes there. Hey, before we get ready to dip out, if you haven't done so already, have you been showing the YouTube channel some love? If you haven't, make sure you go not only subscribe to the YouTube channel, give this episode you're checking out right now a like, all that really helps out, puts more eyeballs on the content. Also, yes, I got it right here. For you new Nine Inch Nails fans, I've already listened to the album on Spotify, but I will be opening this bad boy up. I've got the vinyl version of the new Nine Inch Nails Tron Ares soundtrack, and I will be officially reviewing the new Nine Inch Nails album before the weekend is out. So stay connected to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/the RCWR show. If you guys want to get my thoughts, maybe you're a little bit on the fence, you're not sure if you should fork up the money, or you kind of procrastinate, you're not really sure if you should check it out for your respective streaming platform and all that, definitely stay tuned to my review. I'll give you guys the lowdown on that. But we've been having a lot of fun on the YouTube channel as of late, doing all kinds of. If we're not doing foodie reviews, we're doing album reviews. We're doing all kinds of little knick-knack. We're a little knick-knack stuff here and there. Hey, before we get ready to dip, I definitely want to take the time out and recognize one of our show sponsors. Shout out to the good folks over there at the IME iRadio station, streaming 24/7. They are your go-to place for checking out the hottest indie artists when it comes to all things R&B. You guys can check out some nice hidden gems from across the US, Europe, Canada. Tune in, vibe out. The whole world is at your fingertips when you're listening to the IME iRadio station. Discover your next favorite track with them, streaming 24/7. Check them out. The IME iRadio station, proud sponsor of the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Also, shout out to our new listeners, longtime supporters as well. Big thanks to our Patreon backers, everyone that checks out the show via Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and beyond. You really help keep the show going forward, man. Really, sincerely, I mean that. If you would like to tip me and all that, best advice I could give is like go be a sponsor on the Patreon, patreon.com/the RCWR show. We're going to be giving that a little bit of a revamp because I'm basically, way I'm going to start tweaking that is anybody that is a Patreon backer, you're going to get a producer credit roll. As far as I'm concerned. So that's how we're going to start doing that. I'm also going to introduce some new links in the coming days for those of you that might be interested in grabbing some show merch and or maybe you just want to treat me to a cup of coffee. So keep your eyes peeled on that. We'll have all that announced very, very, very soon. In the meantime, another show in the books. We did good, an hour and 17 minutes. That's not too shabby. Be kind, rewind, check out previous episodes you might have missed on demand and on the downloads, wherever you get your shows. Just use the keywords, the RCWR show. As far as if we're doing a wrestling with the topics this weekend, no. I've got a couple of class projects that I got to work on. Nothing too complicated, but I definitely I gotta put the pen to paper already on some of those. You get what I mean. So no wrestling with the topics this week, but I will be with you guys Monday night, September 22nd, as soon as WWE Raw goes off the air. Get at me all throughout social media using the keywords the RCWR show. And until next go round, my pretty babies, wishing all y'all to be safe, most importantly be kind to one another. I'll see you all next go around. Take care.